Welcome to the podcast. My name is Jamie Knight, and I'm a realtor with Real Broker here in Cajun Country, Lafayette, Louisiana. The goal of this podcast is to provide massive value by bringing insider access to our area's top agents and find out how they've been able to achieve massive success in their business. My hope is that you take away a few things from their experiences to grow your own business. My guest today is Austin agent Jeremy Knight. Jeremy generates all of his business from YouTube, and he has become the top agent in Austin using that platform. Welcome to the podcast, Jeremy.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Yeah, and we're actually not even related or brothers or anything like that. We just happen to have the same last name, man, so that's cool.
Same awesome last name.
Same awesome, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Knight is a great last name. Yeah. That's what I was telling my kids, man. Like, thank goodness you have a great last name.
I know, right?
Because you could have some terrible ones, but this one's a great one. Let's start off by talking about how you got into the business and give us a little background on you, and then we'll get into the YouTube thing, which is, I'm sure, what everybody wants to hear about. So,
yeah, I'd worked at Costco for about 14 years, and that was my college job that turned into more of a corporate job. And so I had been running sales teams there, and I'd rolled out a few projects for them in selling some different products. And so I realized that they didn't really have a good firm grasp on how to actually sell products to people. And so I quickly learned that I was in the wrong space because I wasn't even making any extra money on what I was helping them develop. So I started finding different outlets and found real estate, and that was where I wanted to go.
Nice. Tell us how long you've been in the business.
I've been in the business about 11 years.
11 years.
Yeah.
So when did the YouTube thing come around?
I started dabbling about 4 years in and really started taking it serious around 5 years in. And I kind of changed. So 2019, the end of 2019, I sat and looked at what wasn't working, why I wasn't getting business out of it. I was spending a lot of time on it. So late 2019, I made a complete change to my business model as far as how YouTube worked. And in about 3 months, obviously the pandemic was hitting, but at that same time, my channel was kind of hitting that crescendo of where it takes, 3 to 6 months to really start getting business. And so once I had made the changes and focused on a few different KPIs, all of a sudden my channel took off, and it was subscriber every day, subscriber every minute. And then all of a sudden it turned into, 30 subscribers every minute. And next thing you know, I have just getting business and calls out of it. So it was fun. It's been a learning process, and hopefully some of the things that I've learned, I can share with you and your audience to streamline the process. That way they stop making the mistakes I made for all those years. Yeah,
man, that's awesome. Yeah, because for sure that's a great point. Is with this podcast too, is a lot of agents just make their own mistakes, and sometimes you have to make your own mistakes. But this YouTube is a big monster, and you got to be all in. You got to be committed to it. You can't just make one video and expect to have a ton of followers or get
right. And that's the biggest problem most realtors make, or anybody who's trying to get into the YouTube space, is they put out 3 or 4 videos and then I didn't get any views, and then they start doing these other things that we could talk about that is the wrong way to get business or to grow a channel. And so they get frustrated, and after 10 videos they quit, when in reality it was the consistency part that they were missing. Had they put a specific day in the week that they were going to put their videos out, had they been consistent for 10 weeks straight, actually consistent, and looked at some of the metrics inside the videos, look at the analytics, where are people dropping off, where am I getting subscribers, what videos are getting subscribers, what videos are getting the views, why are they getting the views? Instead, they just throwing spaghetti against the wall and didn't have a good plan.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So let's talk about a little bit of that specifically. Like, if I were somebody brand new to YouTube, haven't done anything on YouTube, and I wanted to grow, potentially just even have a YouTube channel just that gets them a little bit of leads, not even a massive YouTube channel like yours is, but just a YouTube channel that gets them a couple of buyer leads or seller leads. Yeah. Where would they go? What would you tell them?
Well, number one, I would say you really need to dial in and figure out who your audience is before you film anything. I think this is a crucial mistake most agents make, is they go, okay, I want to create a YouTube channel, so Jeremy's style works, let me do Jeremy's style, or Raj Sahu's style works, or Sean Jardine's style works, or I want to be Brad McCallum, right? And they don't really think about who their audience is, who has been their clients, who would be watching them, who do they want to work with. Because the greatest part about YouTube is the fact that when people call me, they want to work with me. They turn into amazing clients. They refer me more business. And so when you said earlier that 100% of my business comes from YouTube, reality direct from YouTube is about 60%. But the other 40% is still a byproduct of YouTube.
Gotcha. So at some point they came from YouTube.
Right. Some referrals from agents, referrals from past clients, Sphere, people that see our postcards, because our postcards, then they go to the YouTube channel, or they found us on one of our Google Business Click ads and they get into our YouTube channel. So our YouTube channel funnels everything.
Nice. You said pick your audience or define your audience who you wanted. Like, where would they start as far as like they've got their audience now? Like, how many videos would you recommend like trying to upload a week? And is there any kind of thought into like when those videos should be uploaded, what day or what not?
Right. All right. So if I was going to do this brand new, like this is I'm starting from complete scratch. I would say my ideal client in the Austin area is somebody who is looking for information, likes to digest information, and is someone in the 600 plus price range, really into the $1 million luxury price range. All right. So what do they want? They want to know the good schools. They want to know what amenities they're going to get. They want to know, especially if they're moving, what's the actual climate like? What are things like? So I would start coming up with 4 or 5 videos that would line up with that. All right. So if those people are going to be searching, where are they searching? So anybody can make a video about here's the 5 neighborhoods to live in. Okay. 5 neighborhoods to live in. That's great. But 5 neighborhoods you want to sell in? Do you really want to sell? Like for me, I live in Southwest Austin. Do I really want to sell in Georgetown? Yeah, it's a hot spot. There's lots of business up there, but do I really want to drive across town? No. So I would come up with 4 different types of content you can put in there. So is it new construction? Are they looking at new construction? Are they wanting to know about the market? Are they wanting to know about where to live? Are they wanting to know, about different price points in the area? Okay. Now I've shot and recorded 5 or 6 videos and I put them all out in 1 week. Literally Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I put them all probably out at 10 o'clock in the morning just to see what happens. And now that I've put out 10 videos in a week, I'm going to start to go back to 1 video a week. So I put those 5 videos out Monday through Friday. That way they're all out there. And then I start to see how they work. Because the thing is, YouTube's going to want to figure out YouTube's not like, oh, wow, there's a bunch of content to put out, right? So YouTube's going to try to figure out what this content is.
Gotcha. So YouTube is looking at all your videos and seeing what is this page all about.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is, everybody tries to sell you on keywords and they try to sell you on, buy this program, use this to get your keywords up. Keywords only go so far. So keywords are going to get your video. So a prime example, if I'm somebody searching to move to Austin, right? What it's like to live in Austin. If that's the keyword that everybody's searching and I look up and that's a great search term, but then there's 30 videos that pull up when I search that term. If you put up a really not very good thumbnail and a not very good title related to that, then the reality is somebody's going to find the most attention grabbing thumbnail and title and they're going to click on that. So if you're looking at why is that video doing better? Well, that thumbnail is more interesting than your thumbnail. That title is more interesting than your title, right? All the SEO work on the back end is the same. But those 2 things are what's driving that. So you got to make sure that you have really good thumbnails and titles as well. Look at what the best performing videos are doing. All right. So go to that search that term. Okay. Look at the thumbnails and make a similar, maybe not the exact same thumbnail, but a similar thumbnail.
Something that would give the scroller just some curiosity about the video.
Right.
Now, would you put like a question, or what might you say? Like, what might be a good question or some kind of curiosity for somebody to put like in their videos? Well,
you got to think about what YouTube rewards is the words that are going to make people click. So the words like simple words, right? Words like really, actually, what you must know, right? The video that I think has been the best performing for me was what you must know about living or moving to change out living or moving, right? So you could have a whole video on living in and then moving to, right? Same video, just titled differently. So that title has been a phenomenal title. And a lot of people have stolen that title and made it their own in every different city. I know a lot of people are going to tell you, oh, do pros and cons. And I'm not a big fan of the pros and cons videos. I'm not a big fan of like the 5 suburbs to live in or 5 neighborhoods to live in. Those are definitely very good very good videos to create if you're trying to figure it out. Yet, if I were to make a video about, let's say, the neighborhood I want to sell in that I think people are going to want to move to. So one would be Circle C. That's close to me. Why buyers are actually moving to Circle C.
Gotcha. So there's some curiosity in the, okay, well, what does he mean by why are they actually wanting to be? Right.
Yeah.
Versus saying,
Yeah.
are you curious about moving to
Right.
whatever? Yeah, I like that. I hear a lot of YouTubers talk about storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that you do in your...
Storytelling can be said in a different way. It's called story arc. Okay. So story arc, you have a beginning, middle, and end. You don't want to give, some people will say, give all the information up front. In order to keep people to watch the full video, you have to keep something for them to watch at the end of the video, right? So if your main hook at the very beginning, we'll give you an example. These videos do very well, so I recommend you do them, is a market update video. People don't think those videos do very well, but they get me buyers, they get me sellers, because I talk to both clients, or both ends. So what I would do is pull up the housing numbers for the last month and give an update video. So something like this would be, home buyers in Austin, Texas are taking over and sellers are rejoicing. Jeremy Knight Group, your favorite Austin realtor. Today what we're going to go through is some of the metrics that buyers are seeing, why they're taking advantage of the market, because these home sellers are running into a lot of issues. And oh, by the way, I'm going to give you the 3 tips at the end of this video if you are a home buyer that will help you be a seller. And guess what? If you're a seller, you want to pay attention to these 3 because these are the 3 that people are going to hit you with.
Nice. Dude, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're giving them a little hook at the beginning to say, hey, you better make sure you tune into the whole video.
Yeah, exactly. So then you get into the video pretty much immediately. Most agents, if you notice when I said that, Jeremy Knight, your favorite Austin realtor, I said exactly who I am, what I do. I did not ask for business. I didn't tell you how long I've been in business. I didn't tell you anything about myself.
Yeah, you didn't make it cheesy at all.
Yeah, because
like
nobody cares.
Simple. Yeah.
Nobody cares how long you've been in business,
Gotcha.
What areas you serve, what you do. And that's a big mistake agents make. They start off their video with, hi, I'm Jamie Knight. I work in Phoenix, Arizona.
Right.
I've been in the Phoenix metro area for the last 10 years and blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
me. And everybody, if you watch analytics, nobody gets past that point. They just immediately turn you off.
Gotcha. Yeah. So curiosity to start and not make it so much about you. But I mean, obviously they need to know that you're a realtor. So kind of insert that quickly, easily, without a lot of fluff to it.
The end of the video, ask for business, right? Not the beginning.
Gotcha.
Right.
So what would that look like for you, like to ask for the business?
I would say, look, I spend a lot of time and energy putting these videos together to give you the information for free. If you do know somebody that's looking to buy or sell in the Austin area, definitely reach out to us. We have our link below in the description. You can reach out to us through there.
And that link is to your website?
Yeah.
Okay. So you pull in people directly to your personal.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Because that was going to be my next question. It's just a perfect call to action. And where do you put that link to your website? You put that in the video description or in the comments? Okay.
In the description. Yeah.
What's the thought on the comments? Are you replying to comments on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First day I reply to everything. After that, I'm usually too busy dealing with buyer and seller calls.
To actually reply to the comments. Yeah. I didn't know if that was something that was YouTube was, they want to see you commenting or whatever. But like you said, in that beginning, when you launch those initial 10 videos, you are probably going to be replying to comments because you want YouTube to give you a favorable liking of your channel. I've heard some different things about whether or not you want to brand your channel as just a realtor's page or whether you want to brand it as the move to Austin thing or, like if I was creating it, would I name a page or kind of make the page revolve around move to Austin, or would I make it revolve around my name, or how would I set that up?
Well, you want something in the title that says who you are, where you are, and what you do. So, Jamie Knight, Cajun Realtor.
Gotcha. Yeah, because yours I'm seeing on your channel right now says Jeremy Knight / move to Austin Realtor.
Yeah.
So that's your page.
Yeah.
And if anybody wants to follow him, for sure, go follow him at Jeremy A. Knight, Knight. So definitely go follow that page. I'm scrolling through your videos, and I mean, you've got great thumbnails and interesting, engaging topics and interesting things that people are going to want to click on, dude. So that's awesome. Okay, so let's talk about lead generation from that. Like, are you tailoring these videos, like in your mind when you're creating these things? Are you creating these videos like for buyers? Are you creating these videos for sellers? Are you really thinking out like who these videos are like tailor made for or not?
Yes, absolutely. So 2 things. One, in the video, I will say who the video is for and why the other side should listen, right? So home buyers, I'm going to give you 3 tips to this, or home buyers, here's why you want to be in this area. And guess what? If you're a seller, you want to pay attention to this because you're going to use it to negotiate against the buyer. I've talked to both.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yes.
And both are entertained. And in that in that video though, here's the most important piece. Instead of asking for business, say like, okay, so at the end of the video, you can say like, hey, if you want to buy some, whatever, call me. Throughout the video, though, there's a very sneaky way that most agents don't realize how to sell during the video, and that is, hey, you know what? I actually had a seller that had this happen. We had a buyer that wanted to write an offer 75 grand below, and guess what? We actually wrote an offer about 75 grand below on another listing not too long ago, and I actually got under contract. If you want to know how we got that under contract, you can reach out. But this seller that we were working with, see what I did there?
Gotcha.
Okay. So the seller that we're representing decided that they didn't want 75. So we countered back at 15 grand below. And guess what? The market was right there because we got another offer right after that. And then went under contract. And we got more than that offer. So a lot of times we can leverage these offers if there's other offers available, or some of the marketing caters to that. So this is what my seller experienced.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now look, I talked to both buyers and sellers. I showed why we are who you want to without even telling you. Because most agents say, like, we negotiate for everybody. We're hardcore negotiators, or however they think they want to sell themselves when they just tell a story. Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that a lot, actually. Yeah, because, you're creating that curiosity without being salesy too. Some realtors like, yeah, call me, but you're just kind of, doing it in a way that's very easygoing, kind of sneaky a little bit, like you said, but not really putting it like shoving that you're a realtor down their throat and everything.
Because nobody wants to be sold. Like the thing is, YouTube's a search engine. It's not a sales engine. It's a search engine. So if I'm somebody who lives in Lafayette, and let's say there's a new construction neighborhood that I want to move to, right? I want to search more information. And when I search that new construction neighborhood, well, guess what? There's a video on YouTube about that neighborhood. Well,
right.
Let me click on that video because it's going to show up in the search. So stop selling, because people are going to find you in the search, and tell a story. Tell a story about how that neighborhood is a great neighborhood, and how we've had clients really enjoy these things about the neighborhood. And one of our clients even said this: what am I telling you? I'm telling you that I work with clients. I tell you clients have had experience in there. And I'm telling you all of the things that you want to hear, that you would want to know. Now, you may not reach out to me, right? You may have a realtor that you're friends with. You may already have a referral, but you've watched that content. And then when you run into me in the street somewhere and you say, because this happens all the time, oh, Jeremy, I watched your channel. We bought a house. I go, hey, I love it. Do you know of anybody else like you? Like, you love watching my channel, right? Do you know if you ever have anybody that wants to reach out? Here's my personal cell. I know like my thing shows you a phone number online. Here's my personal cell. Have them reach out to me.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of doing it that way too. Like, not making somebody feel bad that they did that.
Yeah.
Right. That, as a realtor, like, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's going to be a million people who had the aunt that's the realtor, or the mom, or the best friend that they just can't burn that bridge with the best friend.
Because
they want to use you, even though their best friend's a realtor.
Exactly. And guess what? Now they have your contact number. They're stoked because if they've watched hours of you, they feel like they know you, and they are absolutely going to send you business.
Yeah. And I love YouTube in the sense of having that where you feel like you know somebody before you actually meet them in person.
100%.
Like, I really love that. So I guess that kind of goes into my next question, and I'm sure, I guess I'll probably already know the answer to this question, but short form videos versus long form videos. I know they've got the YouTube shorts and everything else. What's your thoughts on short term versus long term videos?
Yeah. So short form versus long form. The big difference is with long form. You ever binge watch TV shows on Netflix?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's a lot. I can binge watch 30-second videos, right? But there's a pattern interrupt in between each one of those. It's hard for me to really get a sense of who you are. Now, if I watch a 7-minute video with you in it, I've done the same thing as 7 small videos where I get pattern interrupted, right? And now I want to click on the next video because I want to learn more information. So the thing with long form is I will have clients reach out to me and say, Jeremy, I watched 9 hours of your content.
Wow.
Okay. That client is going to convert so much easier because they already know, like, and trust you. That's the whole thing with YouTube is they want to know you. You want them to know you, like you, and trust you, Okay. Then you're going to sell more real estate. It's hard to do that with short form content. Now, I'm not saying don't use short form content. What I'm saying is that the convertibility will be much higher with long form.
Gotcha. Do you use short form much at all, or yours?
Yeah, I put out short stuff, but usually it's more informational, and it's like, let's say I shoot a full video about a topic. I'll probably pull and stop and shoot 4 or 5 different small videos that relate to that long form. So the different points maybe I was making in that. Let's say the video I was talking about had 5 points to it. I'll shoot 5 different points, really short content. That way we can create a shorts out of those and then put those up.
So you'll do the long and the shorts.
Yeah. You shoot at the same time. You're already there.
Gotcha. So you're getting five videos out of it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So whoever may have resonated with one of the 5 things and clicked on the short form, but maybe found your page and then convert it to long form.
Right.
Gotcha. Let's talk about the thumbnail and the title. What are you doing with the thumbnails, and what's important to you when you're creating a thumbnail and a title? Like, what things are actually like important to you when creating those things?
So you want to have some consistency across your channel, right? So, the colors that you're using, the text that you're using, you want to kind of keep it the same throughout the channel. You want uniformity to it, right? So when people are just scrolling through and they see a video of yours, they want to, that's Jeremy's video. I know it because of the style of the thumbnail, right? So you want to have some uniformity to it. I recommend having some brighter colors, something that pops, and then you want it to be simple as possible. Simple as possible, because some people put too much stuff on their thumbnails and then it's hard to see it, or they make too long of a title.
Gotcha. So shorter is better.
Short, sweet title, make it interesting. And then the big mistake I see agents make is they write the same exact title on the thumbnail as they do in the title, right? So you have this long title, it's text that's on the thumbnail. Lead with curiosity, because nobody wants to read a thumbnail and then read the title. They want to be engaged by the thumbnail and then read the title and go, okay, both of those things connect. They look both. What that thumbnail says is what I'm reading here. So I'm going to click on this because I want to know more. I'm intrigued now.
Gotcha. Okay. So one thing too, I was curious about, because I was in a breakout session just now at the Real Conference, and they had talked about listing videos, like, and as far as YouTube, like penalizing you for putting out videos of your personal listings. Does that make any sense? I don't know what they exactly meant by that.
So here's what they meant by that, is that if you're a channel that does listing videos, like that's all that's on your channel is listing videos.
It's just your own listings.
Yeah, then you're fine. If you're doing content that's about moving to, and then all of a sudden there's a video about a house for sale, people are like, I don't want to see homes for sale. You're selling me now. So you have to be careful with that. If you're going to do a listing channel, then just do a listing channel. And if you're going to do a talking head, or you're, more of a knowledge based like channel, talking head, maybe you're showing different neighborhoods, then keep those things separate. But have a whole one channel that's just about property tours, and have another whole channel that's just about whatever else it is.
You have multiple channels on YouTube?
Yeah, I've got 3 channels.
Gotcha. And what are those 3 channels like? How are they operating?
So one is just a knowledge information channel. The other is just property tours, and the other is more like just aimed at realtors. So it's just it's called Agent Tactics, very similar. We, instead of doing podcasts, we shoot live on Zoom, and then we upload that onto. So I have a live audience for it.
Gotcha. So one's geared more towards agents and agent attraction and everything else, and one's geared more towards the public.
Yeah, and not even agent attraction. We don't even talk about brokerages. All we do is talk about like how to do YouTube, how to do video, how to do how to grow an audience, things like that.
If you were going to promote your videos on YouTube, or your listings on YouTube, like what would you even do with that? Because I know some people like have maybe content they've created. Because this was a question that I had from one of my coworkers. She said, definitely ask Jeremy this question. Well, she had said, I create this content for Instagram or Facebook, and it's a really nice, high quality listing video.
Yeah.
How do you get traction with that on YouTube, or what would you do with that on YouTube?
The sad truth is you're just going to have to pay for views. It's not, those videos don't move as well if that's not like your typical focus. So you can pay for views, so do click ads. I would create shorter videos that you can run and click ads for those. I would put them into your website. So when like we have the Lofty website. So when we have listing page build outs, we'll put the videos, embed those into the actual listing pages. So if you were to open that listing page, it'll show the video in there. Or if on your website, if somebody's visiting your website and it shows your listings on there, when they click on it, it's going to show the video from your YouTube channel. So now it clicks on the YouTube channel. Now they're going to get sucked into the YouTube channel. Another thing you could do is when you're building those pages, take them onto Google Business Profiles, put those videos onto Google Business Profiles from the main channels or from your website. So embed the video on the website, then put it on Google Business Profiles as a product, and then boom, you're good. So, and you can run ads then from your website on pay-per-click ad for that landing page, and then your videos in there as well. So there's lots of ways to do that.
But you would probably not put, like if you're promoting one of your own listings and you did a nice high quality listing video, you're probably not putting that on move to Austin page because it's going to penalize, because YouTube is going to penalize that.
Yeah. Right? I mean, I wouldn't even look at it as penalizing. It's just not going to get views. Like the reality on those videos is you really are going to have to pay for views because nobody's looking for 123 Banana Street listing. Right. So you got to make sure you title it a specific way. You got to make sure, like I would, if I was going to do a property tour, I would do a full video about the area and just make that property part of that area tour. So prime example, like Circle C I talked about earlier. I would talk about top reasons people are moving to Circle C. Okay. So I would do a whole video talking about different things. And oh, by the way, this home is a home we have listed. It's listed at $1 million. This is what you get. So this is what $1 million buys you in this neighborhood. Look, we're going to do a quick tour. Here's what it looks like. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, and by the way, here's the restaurants you want to live by or that you want to go to. Here's the neighborhood community amenities and all of those things.
Because you're kind of sneaking it in there at that point.
Yeah. But again, if your whole channel is about listings and you're doing property tours, then just make a whole channel about property tours.
Yeah. So just do Acadian home tours or whatever it is, and just that way I can just do home tours and it not be kind of where YouTube is confused of like what the channel is all about.
Yeah,
and it's not. So I get kind of where you're going with that. But is there content that you can put out that specifically for sellers?
Yeah.
Or what's the best way to reach
market
sellers?
Updates.
Just market update videos.
Market updates are really good, or do a whole video about what sellers are facing. That is a great way to do it. I've put out videos like Austin sellers in serious trouble. That's the title of the video.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then I literally will say, hey, look, home sellers, the market's changed. A lot of the home sellers I'm talking to are wanting to price because of these things. Let's talk about that. Right.
Gotcha.
Okay. So the median price in Austin is now this. If you look 3 years ago, it was this.
Right.
Now we're here. Okay. So the sellers I'm talking to right now, we've had a couple that have priced here. And our recommendation was to price here. And when it sold, it ended up selling at or closer to that price. Or maybe I was wrong and it sold higher. But here's what we're facing in the market. Oh, and by the way, buyers, if you are going to be buying, this is a great video to pay attention to because you're going to hear what sellers are going through. So if you are going to negotiate against the seller, now you know how to negotiate against the seller.
Yeah. Oh, dude, man, that's freaking money, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so awesome. But let's close it out with this last thing. What maybe encouragement would you give to an agent who is just trying to do YouTube, or some advice to an agent who's interested in doing YouTube, and just like a general advice to give them if they're thinking about starting their channel? Yeah,
I would say if you're interested in YouTube, you're not going to do YouTube. And that's a harsh reality, but you need to be serious about YouTube. You need to be serious about any lead source you do, right? So if you're serious about Instagram, be serious about Instagram. If you're going to be serious about TikTok, be serious about TikTok. If you're going to be serious about door knocking, etc., right? YouTube is not one of those tools that you can just make one video, and then all of a sudden it's going to rain from the heavens. And that's what agents think, is that it's just going to do that. It's going to take 4 to 5 months of being super consistent, learning what you're doing wrong, fix what you're doing wrong, create better content, and just go through the grind. But you will be rewarded handsomely at the end of that, because what will happen is you'll get to a point where every video you don't put out is a loss in income.
Damn.
Right? if I don't put a video out now, it costs me about $25,000 not to put a video out. So now I'm forced to put out a video every week because I was super consistent for 4 years, and I've been rewarded that. I've been rewarded by agents reaching out to me to join the real brokerage. I've had agents reach out to me for referrals. I've got buyers and sellers that reach out to me. I get referrals from buyers and sellers. So, and I've got speaking gigs that go on, and all of that was because I was super serious and consistent with YouTube. Now, you don't have to be somebody that wants to ever go talk on stage about YouTube or get accolades. You just want to be somebody that gets $1 million plus GCI a year from selling homes because you were super consistent on YouTube, and that's phenomenal.
Yeah, dude, I freaking
and
love
it's doable.
That. Yeah. Absolutely. But it takes consistency.
Yeah.
And it takes going all in, not just like, hey, I casually want to do this as an arm of my business. This is like everybody that I heard of, at least who does YouTube well, is like, that's how they run their business.
Yeah.
And that's how they generate their leads. It's not like it's an arm of the business.
Right.
So to kill it, I'm hearing you got to just go all in and be super committed to seeing
100%.
it without any hope of anything in the future. Awesome, brother, man. Well, I really, really appreciate you being on the podcast, man. You got a ton of knowledge, and I hope that realtors reach out to you for your YouTube channel or just referrals in our market, man, because you're the man in Austin, Texas, or you can find somebody that could maybe help them in Austin, Texas.
If we're not able to help, we definitely have lots of connections. I mean, we've been a growth ambassador at Real locally, so Austin, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, whatever you need, we got you.
Awesome, brother. Well, I really appreciate you being on the podcast, man. Tons of value. I know everybody took a ton of notes, so I'm thinking that this is going to be very, very well received, and I hope that you guys go follow his channel. We'll put the details of his channel in the description of the video. But anyway, I appreciate you guys following the podcast. Please give it a like. Please give it a share. Please give us a great review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcast. So do us a favor and give us one of those likes and shares. So anyway, I appreciate you guys listening to the podcast, and I hope that you guys have an amazing day.